All right, welcome back to some fun. Let's see if my audio is working. There we go, audio is working. All right. So, oh, I was feeling my 1 week into any project I ever do, like, ugh, I don't feel like doing anymore. I've done it for a week. Um, then I was like, well, I'm streaming it, so I have to finish. So that's sort of one of the reasons why I decided to stream this project is to sort of give me an excuse to finish the project because I tend to, if it's not like it's my job to do, then I like start something, play around for a bit, and then just sort of give up because you know there's no real motivation behind it. I'm not really motivated to make something because I had a decision to start it. So having to stream it has really been sort of I think helpful. Hopefully, I can continue the trend of you know maybe just streaming the project until I get into a habit of actually finishing a project. So I'm sort of quite happy about that. And then after I thought about that, and I was thinking about what we did. Sort of the first time I've done some of the things I'm doing. So I definitely was like, that's it's fun. So I'm quite happy. So hopefully today we're gonna sort of take what we've done so far and we'll go over what we've done and just sort of continue on the trend of making something fun. Yeah. So enough about that. Let's just quickly make sure that we can share our screen. There we go. Look at that. This is what we did so far. Um, this particular one we did on the last stream was just make the let me see, should I make my face smaller? There we go. You don't need to be my big face. Um, it doesn't do anything. It's just basically the rendering part, assuming everything's right. As you can see, we did a bit of AI generation for the bottle and the man, and of course we did a couple of 3D-esque transformations to sort of get our no longer just a balls falling down the screen, and we can actually go back and see um, what we used to have. Let's see if I can just swap these two. Actually, can we just comment it out? I mean, instead of there we go. So here's our wonderful game menu. Maybe we'll clean that up a bit. And this is what we had before. So definitely not, you know, the ultimate gaming experience. And of course, when we die, um, if we ever die, we can go back to the main menu and, compare to basically, oops, compare to, well, it doesn't want to do that, but it doesn't matter compared to what we had initially, the sort of quite cool 3D looking thing. So that's definitely fun. One thing I want to do just before we start any actual new work is to sort of try and take what we did, because we wrote all of that cool 3D stuff in the sandbox page just because we don't want to tie it to game processing and anything. We just want to render something. And then we want to bring this sort of into the main game, but because we sort of uh, want to keep the sandbox page, I thought, hey, we do a bit of a refactoring and create a control that would allow us to basically have a sort of an animated view, right? So we can just pop in this thing and it really has all the infrastructure required to do animations. Because right now in our one we've got let's make this a bit bigger. We've got our dispatch to tick of the timer, and then of course we invalidating surface and all that sort of stuff. And that's really what a game should be doing. The game should be just focusing on doing the game and not all that. Now, obviously, it's minimal work, but we can improve it a bit. Then I remembered I actually did all of this work for the Skier Shop Extended project, and one of them I actually want to check is there is a animated surface view, and do I actually use this in here? Do we have to frame counter? Oh, we sort of need the frame counter because using the delta time, right? So we've got this animated view that is, how are we doing the animation? Oh, yes, there we go. We did the dispatcher and everything. So this animated view is sort of what we want. And the reason this is a special kind of view is that if we go back to its base type of a surface view, it has a cool, it's a Maui templated view, and it has a cool sort of ability for us to swap out the drawings surface with either a canvas view or a GL view. So we potentially can have a hardware accelerated one. So I thought, hey, let's have a look at swapping out this control, swapping out our normal canvas with this control, and then see, we can even have a quick look and see what our different different sort of uh, difference in performance, as well as just clean up some code. And then once we've done that, the sandbox page and the normal game page will be much simpler. And then of course we can focus on the actual rendering of the content. So let's do that by adding, and we're going to add an extender on that search again. UI, come on, Nougat search. It's definitely fighting us today. There we go. And we want pre-release 2, because that's how cool we are. The 2.0 may not work with the 3.0 Nougat, but that's okay. So let's just quickly install that. Okay. Accept. Then, of course, in our sandbox page, let's quickly pop over there. Let's create a new one, and let's do XML namespace, and we're going to call this UI equal to sharp.extended UI controls. There we go. And we can swap this with Skia UI and animated surface view is what we want. There we go. And I'll show you something cool. So there's a game surface, and on the paint surface, let's just see what we have. What is our, well, let's go to the code and see how do we render the surface. Does it have a paint? Oh, it doesn't have a paint surface event. Oh, that's silly. We don't have an event. Yeah, this should also be an event. Well, it is what it is. I want to check now. Oh, we don't want a paint surface. We want animated surface. I just want to check. We got animation enabled. That's cool. So we can turn off and on. And we want to paint surface, invalidate, on load. Where's the delta time update? Where is the update method? There we go. Okay. All right. So we're going to have to inherit from this, which I suppose is fine. So we're going to go animated surface view, and we're going to create a new control quickly. And let's just pop it in the bottom here, and we're going to call this public class game surface. And make sure we got our usings. Oh, come on, IntelliSense. There we go. Override. We're going to call this update, and of course override paint. There we go. So that's cool. So now that we've got this brand new control, we go back to our sandbox page, and instead of that we do local, and let's swap this with local, and this is going to equal to live runner app. There we go. And we don't have a paint surface. Okay, let's just for now create those ones. So we're going to do public event handler. Can I do action? Mm, Does this require a T event args? Oh, that could be anything. But let's create just a quick one. Class update. Yeah. And this one must be created. Oops. I want AI. It's quite a simple thing. I want you to create a constructor. There we go. Whew. For a minute I thought I would have to type all that manually, and then of course we're going to do dated. There we go. Oh, let's just do that. And can I? Oh no, updated. Pretty sure there must be a in this. There we go. And we want to do the same for public event or event handler, and we're going to do paint surface. So we're going to do game surface public class game surface paint surface event args. There we go. Canvas and size. Look at that. Date add, and of course in this case we're going to do the same thing. Yes, yes, yes. Paint game surface event args, and then update. Oops. Update game event args. There we go. Update game surface. Paint game surface. In surface, and let's do update surface. There we go. Update frame. Paint frame. Paint surface. There we go. Let's do that. Paint frame. Event args. And this will just be, let's just do a paint surface. There we go. Come on, let's be rational here. We don't need to do that. And let's see, can paint surface. There we go. All right. So we're actually going to now, this is quite a large control. So let's quickly pop this, let's cut that. Let's make a new folder here. We're going to call this controls. And let's create a new file here, class. So we're going to call this game surface. Waiting. And we are, let's keep that cute namespace for now. That's quite nice, sort of fancy sounding. Okay, so this is a game surface. Let's move that to a new type. Oops, no, I did that wrong. No, that's exactly what I wanted. So let's do it again. Whatever that is, and that's what we can do. Game surface paint event types. Let's just do that. There we go, and it's now done that. Can we go back and do IntelliSense? Come on. Oh, the IDE wants to fight me, but it doesn't know that repeating itself many times. And let's quickly clear that out. Save that again. Maybe now it'll work. And okay. Did it go? It doesn't want to go. I do so I just move this to this file quickly and just try it again. I mean, I'm trying to use the IntelliSense, but it's taking longer than creating the file. There we go. All right. So there we go. We've got the game surface and this. Now we can go to our sandbox page and let's call this controls. As you could remember, controls, and we can do controls. So surface, and we can do paint and updated on on game updated on frame. Okay, whatever. On frame update and then on frame draw. Let's go with that. And on sandbox page, we want to, because the animation is going to be happening, is that enabled by default? Let's go to animate surface. It's not enabled by default. So in our particular one, we want to go in here and say, equal to true, right? Technically, that probably should be default by true by default because it's animated surface should be animating by default, but no need to. What was the name of the method? On frame draw, on frame update. Okay, then we go over here. We're going to create that one, and we're going to create that one. There we go. IntelliSense. So we don't need the timer. We need none of this timer things. When the handler change, you're going to load the frame. Okay, load image asset. This technically can be over here as a local method, so don't be cluttering up. On timer tick, this will be frame updated. So you go over here. There we go. And we don't have to update the frame. There we go. We can delete that. We've got some there, and then the draw frame, we go over here and cut that and pop him there. So we don't have to reference anything. So we've got our images. The images are loading, right? Then we've got our offsets, and we don't need that. And we're going to do e.canvas, and then we do e.size. E.size. Right, and we can add whatever we want in there. So this should now be exactly what we had before, but with less infrastructure around it. And we can do the same thing now that we've figured out how to do this in the actual game page. What we're doing now is actually take that out as well and comment out the menu. So we're going to go into the game page and comment out the game over stuff. Here we go. Oh, I need to do that. Game over, and then I have to do a reset function. So I want to do, here's our sandbox page. It is not loading, so that is suspicious. Did I just spend all that time and game surface, margin, Should be full screen. Okay. Animation enabled. What am I doing wrong? I feel like that should have worked out the box. Bit crazy there. Let's just see if any of these things actually firing. And we can go to the game surface as well here. Let's see. There we go. Update is firing. Maybe I had a thing, and then oh, it's just not drawing. That's very scary. Let's check the live visual tree, and oh, we can pop that open. Let's click on him. Sandbox page, game surface. Here we go. Oh, I think this is that annoying themes thing. I got a game surface, animated surface, which we want to go to surface. This should be firing. Where does it register? Let me have a quick look and see what I did in here. So I don't think it should be this difficult, but let's have a look and see. It should be interesting. Controls, Betty. See what it is. Betty view shade. I wonder if I didn't actually. Well, that's my bad. So let's quickly copy this. So for some reason, the okay, well, I'll be really honest. The animated control is not really meant to be used outside the thing, outside the extended library. I just had it public. So technically, what we want to do is we want to do game surface control template. We're going to do the canvas view, call it drawing surface, and we want to add a. Let's do quickly copy controls. And do game. Here we go. Let's bring this on the new line. Consistent. And of course, then we're going to do, skin needs to be done as well. Okay. So we need to have a local style. You know what? This will be controls, game surface. And this is going to be applied to derived types, which is what we want. And we're going to put a new style, and we're going to set. No, let's not be clever. And then the control template, we're going to do this. So property control template, and that's what we want. So we don't want key over there. All of this can go. So what we've done here is add an implicit style to all game surfaces, and we're going to set the canvas view for the drawing template. So now our sandbox should appear. Let's just game surface. Let's hide that. All right. There we go. All right. Okay, it looks a bit awful position because our code was written specifically for a specific size. Okay, well that's cool. What did we have before? The game page. I think. Oops, looking at app. Okay. Now we can change this to GL view. let's see, do we have a GL view? Let's see what performance or any other changes. So that's, we can quickly swap out the control template, um, which is quite nice. Let's have a look. There we go. Okay. I don't think we'll notice a difference, but it's larger. Oh, it's even larger. We want to do that. Okay, back to where we were. It's larger now because for some reason something happened. Who knows? Let's see what I did in uh, are we doing anything specific? Let's go surface view. Okay. Well, no, I'm doing okay. Just based on old code. Yes, I am double scaling it because previously scaling. So what if I take off the take bigger or smaller? Let's just do that for now. Right, so there we go. We've got our amazing game running. That's pretty cool. And of course, as I mentioned, we can totally make it a GL view if we wanted to, and our performance was getting down. So let's see. This is our current control. So if we were going to copy this into our game page, okay, and oops, actually we didn't do any of that. We do this, and then we do frame draw, frame update, and animation label. There we go. We can delete that. All right, and here's the controls. We also need this namespace. We don't need skier, we just need that. So in our game page, we have the same thing. Controls. There we go. There's our game. Okay. So that's less exciting. So let's head on over to our game page. And of course, we need to create those quick methods quickly. And we'll see if it actually works still. Just swapping that. All right. So on timer tick, do we have anything in timer tick? No, we don't need that. And it changed. We don't want a timer, we want a game. And then we have this thing can vanish. That's nice. And then of course, here we go. The cool thing about this is the frame update. We do, oops, our API is going to be a tiny bit limited. You know what? Just for now. Technically, our update should be in there. However, for now, I'm just going to put it in there because we are missing something. So maybe let's actually let's head on over to our paint. That's just the nice thing about this. So we can do let's do this private SK size last size. Okay. And last size. And before we do that, we do size equal to size. There we go. And of course, we're going to do, yeah, let's just do that. In here, we can do sk size, size, and we add a new property for size. There we go. All right, so data time and size, and the update is the canvas and the size. Okay, so back in our sandbox page or our game page, which we do need the actual size, we do e.size int. Actually, is that sk size? Wow. Okay. Probably will never be a. You know what? Let's be real here. Size I. I do that. What methods do we have in there? All right, whatever. Let's just do X new, and of course size dot width int comma int size dot height. There we go. Let's just work with integer sizes because yeah, the size will always be an integer. We can't have a floating point. There we go. Perfect. So with that again, we can just start deleting code from our game page. So if we were to run this, let's see if it still works. It's actually, it makes it fly, oops, let's get rid of that. We want the main menu. We can actually just pop that. There we go. We start off with the gameplay page, so we can skip the menu for our testing. We'll put it back later. There we go. All right, there's our system. It's pretty cool, pretty exciting, and of course we can always hop to our sandbox page. All right, that has frozen. Oh, we've got no more lives left. Okay, so that's that done, keeping it nice and simple. When the game is over, I'm just going to do, for now, is do underscore game dot restart. Restart game. There we go. Game. What is our current state? And we want to reset that. So yes, our state is these. Yeah. So let's quickly create a public void restart game, and we're going to do lives remaining equals 3. You know what? We can make live, oh no, yeah, live remaining 3, time elapsed, is the time span 0, and score is equal to 0. Now, what happens when the game over, right? Oh my gosh, we've got some stuff up here. This is where it's magical things. Where do we create the player? Move player. Where's player? Who? Oh, there's new sprites. So sprites we want to clear. Clear. Last update. Equal to 0. Last sprite add 0. These are our properties. So let's put them in the order that we see. And then, actually, we're going to do the opposite order. Let's go back. And then, of course, the last thing we're going to do is equal to false. So we got that player, the player lane. Let's do that. Sprite. Sprite have a lane is 0. Okay. So I'll, oops, lines remaining, time elapsed, current score will be 0. You reset. Let's do that and the game over, right? And then things will update. So I think we've reset everything. In fact, so when we lose, it should instantly reset. And that will give us the ability, because when the last thing you have, the pop-up appeared, you have to click main page and then go back to the game. You can't have a restart game button. So let's see. Let's try and die as much as we can. 1, 2, and we died. Okay, we exploded. Start game over. Actually, how did that get into the situation? Where is the game over event? Here we go. Game over is true. Okay. Okay. On lives remaining changed. Okay, here we go. This one happens. So this will kill the game restarts, and then it would, let's cancel that. Right, game is over, we quit. I mean, is this the amazingest way of doing something? Probably not. But let's do that for now. Did. Oh, oh my goodness. Matthew, you silly boy. Here we go. So when the life remaining goes down, when the event changed, we go game over. Okay. It's game over is true. We trigger the event. The event's going to come right back in here and say restart game. And that's where we get this thing. Let's quickly move this. Actually, let's resolve it. Or we do operations, we remove it. There we go. We'll fix the ordering in a second. Restart game. Actually, this is still better, so you don't accidentally do something. There we go. Restart. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So here we go. We got our amazing game. It's running. And we've got a restarting. We've got our drawing, and we've got our updates happening. Okay, so what we want to do is to take our learnings from the sandbox page and have these assets loaded. So let's create a nice quick class here. Class. I don't know why we're doing public, whatever the asset manager. And then of course let's copy it, drag this side by side for now, or underneath. We want our private floorboards, and then we want to do public load assets. That's not what we want, but whatever. And this is what we have. We're going to do private. I mean, technically we shouldn't be. Let's keep that. Oh yes, no, we're going to replace it with our asset manager. Okay, and here we go. So what we're going to do actually is have a private dictionary, which is going to be a string, and it's going to have a SK image, and this will become assets. Is equal to new, right? And then we're going to have a load image asset, and it's going to do that. So let's just have what we're going to do. So we're going to want to be able to just create this asset manager, and we're going to have a private asset manager assets is equal to new, and you know what? We don't want that. We're going to do, or we might, yeah, let's just do new for now. I was thinking of making a singleton. Hello, maybe. Is this a good place to learn? I mean, I think so. Um, I am basically making a game, an endless runner game. Let's have a look what it looks like. Which we've probably seen it. And I mean, obviously, you need to have some basic knowledge of programming, right? Because I'm not going through how to do, certain functions and things like that. However, but for me, I'm making a game like this, and it's going to be basically, well, that's a bit boring, but basically a game like this, and right now it's a bit big, but that's because I'm testing. So if you're interested in just uh, seeing what I'm doing and learning about, some things, yes. This particular project not really for learning. I am thinking of doing like a getting started programming sort of series, but for this is just me building the game in public, and definitely learning ability because I'm learning on the job. So yeah, I mean, I think it's okay to learn. I don't know if it's the best place to learn. One thing, the best place to learn would be go to like learn.microsoft.com, and then that has a whole bunch of getting started courses at different levels. So definitely that is a good place to check out if you're really new. But if you know the basics and you're just like, oh, I would like to maybe learn how to make a game, then definitely hanging out here would be useful or beneficial. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right word, but definitely you can learn something because we'll learn together, basically. Yeah, so it's helpful. That's it. And we're going to do, you know what? Let's just image two. And then, of course, we can do underscore assets um, name is equal to image. And then, of course, we just make that a task. There we go. Wait, that's not static. Okay. Well, thanks for popping in. If you have any you want to stay around and ask some questions and see why I'm doing something, definitely come along. Okay, let's just actually load assets, and I'm just going to async task. Actually, what am I doing? Let's just leave this simple as it is. Actually, no, let's go back to that. For the so we're loading the assets. Actually, let's just do that, right? Let's do async task, and then of course we'll have a boolean actually. Um, public bool is loaded, and this is your get private set. Go, and then I'll do loaded equals true. Of course, this will be just all of that. I don't care about any of this. There we go. Oops, this needs to be public. So public, someone at some point in the call load assets, and then is loaded is true. Oh, look at that. Wow, I did not know that was a thing. That is really interesting. We're loading those assets. And then what we want to do is have a public escape image, and then you do, and then we do string. Well, let's make an enum for our current assets, just so that it'll help us. So asset manager dot how do we want to do this? So public enum. No, let's not. So public static class. What are we going to call this? This game assets. Let's just move that up there. Game assets, and this will be a public const string. How are we going to call this? Boards and I don't know. Yeah, boards, and this will be JPEG, right? There we go, and then we can do game assets dot boards. There we go. So we can do sample bottle. There we go, and love IntelliSense or AI. Then we can go over here. Let's see, does the IntelliSense do it? No. Assets dot bottle, and obviously I'm pretty sure at one point I'm going to forget to load them player. All right. So this string name, and of course we're going to do just underscore assets, try get assets. Yeah, asset name not found. There we go. Oops, I scrolled too far. Scrolled very far. Let's take the asset manager, move that into a separate file. Asset manager, and of course game assets. I mean, I stick game assets, but whatever. So we have a public function to load assets. Not loaded, and then yeah, and then we've got the loaded, and we can get them right. So in our Where is our game? Let's quickly try this again so that we can. There we go. All right. So scrolling around here. Where were we working? We were working moving things around. Oh yes, we were getting the asset loading out here. So to make sure the sandbox still works, we're going to go to all the errors are, and we're going to do underscore f underscore assets dot is loaded. If it's not loaded, then we return, and we want to do this, I bet you, in a couple of places. Oh, here we go. We're going to do underscore assets, and we want to do game assets dot floor. Just copy that, and probably want to cache this, to be honest, but let's just get this thing running. There we go. All right. I don't know why I'm working in the split screen mode. It's not necessary, but okay. So this is the real game. We have our basic asset manager. It's not like super advanced, but it allows us to basically have a centralized way of just getting assets, and we can quickly pull it out. And while that runs, let's go back to our game code. Let's move this side by side now. No, we can't. Move it in there. Let's get rid of the asset manager. So what did we have in our sandbox pages next? Almost like, whoops, that looks hideous. Let's go to the sandbox, and that failed. Oh my goodness. Oh dear. Oh, as we mentioned in the beginning of the game, no, this is what I want to do, right? So right now we got this, in the sandbox page, we've got this create new assets. This is exciting, but actually we want to rather just have a shared asset manager. So we're going to make this public static asset manager dot default, and there we go. And then of course, can we? You know what? Let's actually, can I move this? Let's do this. Okay, default. And then of course we have let's make a new constructor, static. Okay, let's move this underneath. And there we go. And we're going to do default is equal to new, and then we do default dot load assets. And of course we want to use just the discard so you get rid of that warning. So basically we're creating new assets and we're loading it. All right, so blank in the beginning, and then eventually, well, interesting. Oops. Of course, I have to actually asset manager default. There we go. And I actually might somehow probably figure that, refactor that. Right? That's not too crazy. All right. Oops. There's no, the assets is a separate system. We don't have to have instance methods, right? Each page has its own instance double the image is loaded. We're only ever going to have one, bottle loaded in memory, so we might just reuse it. Especially since that's just a sandbox page, so it's not really meant to be. There we go. All right. Back to exactly what we had before. So let's go and to our game page again. Let's just put the side by side. Let's crank this down to 120 for a second. There we go. So we've got a drawing, we've got an update, and that's it. So the handler, we no longer need this, right? Because the assets managers are loading in the background. So there we go. We've got our drawing logic and update frame. So this should allow us to game.update, game.draw, right? So now we can go to our game, right? And pop that there, make this a tiny bit narrower. We've got less space. Let's get rid of that scroll bar at the bottom. It's very annoying for my brain. Now obviously these offsets, let's give this a what do we call it? Offsets. Let's call this floor offset, right? Because our floor is scrolling and our bottle offset. Okay. Let's put that there, and now we're going to remember to also add this as part of the reset. Go. Then on the update, here we go. We need to, oh, okay, we can fix that too. We just offset our things there, and there's our frame drawing. So we now need to convert our current drawing of this system, let's call it that, into a nice drawing. So let's quickly close the game page, all of this stuff. Okay, oops, there's many things open here. At some point, can I do close all to the right? Close all the tabs, there we go. Let's make it horizontal for now, so that we can see. So currently our current draw method is clears the screen, the green, and we draw the sprites, because the sprites are positioned as part of the update loop. So in this particular code, we update our positions in line by drawing the stuff. So we need to convert this into a sort of an update draw cycle. So let's do that first in here, just so that we can not have to copy over and update. So let's go over here, and we're going to create, here's an update. So we want to put all our additional layout logic in here too. So okay, what do we want to do first? Paint's fine there. We've got some scaling, okay, we've got a rotation, this can be fine in the drawing. And then of course we're going to draw the floor tiles. So in our case, we want to be translating the canvas by the offset. Right, so our game also has the offset over there. Okay, we don't have a floor over here, so I can't compare that. So let's leave that. Let's do that for now. Let's move in the game and then sandbox. So our floor offset, our bottle offset, right? We copied that, our floor offset, and there is our bottle offset. And then of course we got our delta time is spawning a new sprite. That's fine. Our lane count. So in our case, well, we don't draw anything with the lanes. So let's draw. Here we go. No, our lane offset is already happening. Actually, yeah, floor offset. So in our draw, we want to draw here. Floor tiles. Okay, so let's have a look at the floor. The way we draw the floor tiles is just this bit. So let's quickly copy. Let's rename it to if the assets aren't loaded, we clear. Let's put that there. Right, our canvas is coming in. We don't have to clear it. Okay. our paint for now is we're going to do, oh, this was hideous, but let's just keep this scary looking. Actually, no, I don't want this. This makes it complicated. There we go. So we scale to a nice size. Let's take that off quickly just so that it can work. We've got a 3D matrix. We draw the floor tiles. Let's actually take that off. There we go. We've got to draw floor tiles. We do a save. We concat the current 3D matrix. Let's just take that off quickly so we can draw it. And then we want to draw tile size, the floor offset, and this is the drawing. So we're not doing any complicated maths. This is not quite what we're going to end up with because we're going to do tiles in chunks. So we're going to have a design like sort of a section of the floor that's maybe like, I don't know, 6 tiles long, and it's going to have obstacles and things, and that's all going to load. But here we go. Okay, it's quite huge. It's very huge, but that's fine for now. We're actually going to, yeah, that's fine for now. We actually need to current tile size. Start. 20 length. The lane is -1 +1. Okay, the reason that's happening is because that was for that particular example. So we're actually going to have the lane end by, this is going to be 3D. So let's do that for now, right? And we can actually, let's just move this out quickly. And now we'll rename that. So let's clamp our update. Here we go, height, width. And let's do width is equal to that one times 3. Let's just do that for now. So what we're doing is we're actually just going to fake it and say the canvas size is just 3 tiles wide. Hopefully the dots falling down will be over the tiles. 1, 2, and then 3 will be there. So what we want to do is actually move it all to the left by a bit. Oh no. Where's our tile size? Our tiles are drawn half there. So we want to do is translate. Here we go. Here we go. That was for that specific example. I keep forgetting that is not the de facto standard. Okay, that's much better. There shouldn't be in the draw operation. There shouldn't be much things happening. In fact, the tile size on the floor. There we go. Right. So there's the things falling in the middle, and I don't think we need this as well. Right. There we go. So in our landscape mode, right, there's our game running. Again. There we go. All right, so we currently just restricted it into that, and obviously we can move into the position. Look at that, right? The dots are not moving at the right speed because they've got their own speed falling. But again, we'll fix that. So I have the run speed is 500 per second when I have, in this case, plusing 30 per frame. So we'll fix that in a second, but this I believe is what we should be. Let's cut this, and we're going to call this run distance. So I'm later than I did right now. I think that is what we want, the delta time. And then we want to plus this. There we go. So this should make it stick to the floor. Oops. +4 run distance is as long. Why is this? One double to a float. Oopsie. Float. Probably going to be some rounding here, but see, there's the dots. There we go. The dots stick to the floor. There we go. Much better. Now, I think what I'm going to do is, where's this thing that said here, update to a cool size? Actually, let's just doing float here. So let's just do run speed, run distance, and let's make this. What do we use delta time for? You know what? Make that float. We don't have to do any of this weird mathematics each time. Oh, casting. Here we go. New Y. Float. Boom, gone. Okay. Then we wanted to check as well, scale to a nice size. We want that back. We want things to be slightly smaller. That particular scaling we can figure out in a second, but I think what's going to happen, it's going to be wrong. Oh, yes, perfect. Now obviously that blue dot is rendering your player, player height. We have our logic here, player origin is the width times this, the height. We scale the height. Okay. We can't really be using frame height. No, Matthew, come on. What did we say in the other one, right? Remember in our game page, right? Right now this is rendering in the top left corner. However, in our sandbox page, we had this particular translate. This is, okay, move the origin to the bottom left. Go. So we want to move x 0 down, and the y we're going to do just height. There we go for now, right? So 0, 0 is now in the bottom left corner. Let's see. Oops. Stop. Spelled that. Don't know why that choked. The heart reader might have to restart. Yes, but okay. Oh dear. Where is he gone? Let's quickly do that. Right, divided by 2. Yeah, just quickly restart VS. I think because I added a file, it for now will forever have an error compiling. I do have an older BS, so who knows? Hopefully it's been fixed. Let's start that again. I don't know why we can't see it. X, Y, yeah, we should just be moving it down. So the update logic, width, where is this width here? The height. Wait a sec, yeah. Might be doing something wrong. Gotta think about it. There we go. Height over 2. Okay. Let's just quickly cancel all of this and make sure you canvas.draw circle, and we're going to do 0, 0. Our size is going to be 25 and paint. Let's just see where the origin is. Here we go. Okay. So remove it. It should be the bottom left. Yeah. Okay. Then we scale. I wonder if I'm scaling in the wrong place. Save that. No, there. Okay, that's correct. Then we're going to draw the floor tiles. Let's draw the player sprite. Okay, let's draw the dot, and then we draw the player sprite. Just see where this player is going. Okay. Oh, I forgot. In our sandbox, our player is, we draw at the origin. However, in our current logic here, we're doing advanced mathematics. Player origin will always be lane width and y will be 0. I think that's what we want. There we go. Look at that. There's our little blue dot. All right. Yes, yes. Oh my goodness. Linux out of range. Sprites is exploding. I don't know. Let's take that for now. Okay. Probably because I did a hot reload on this particular line and I did something strange. So, oops, where is this? Where were we? Yeah. So 0, 0 represents the player's position and the origin. And what we actually want to do, to be really honest, is that's fine, but we actually want origin to not be right at the bottom. We're going to, let's say we're going to do canvas.trans translate, and we're going to say we want it to be, I don't know, the let's just run that again and see what happens. Because I'm just thinking now, we want 0, 0 to be the origin, bottom left. That makes all our drawing operations easier. Player should not actually be 0. It should be this one, should be the padding. The padding should be down here. Or no. Let's see what's happening. There we go. Now where are the dots? The dots, why? The width plus half. This is centered in the width. So the x is in the center. Okay. For now, just going to quickly comment out that. No, yeah, we never lose. It's just for now. Because something is causing the sprites to explode. Probably got something gone wrong, but we'll check that in a second. All right, back to the things. Here we go. Let's put, there's the center, there's the player. That's correct, actually, yeah. Yes, yes, that's exactly what we want. Because I am doing the X offset in the player here, and the Y. Now the problem is, player Y, actually, we want to do, let's just take away lane, right? Half the lane went up from the bottom. That might be all that we need. There we go, right. Let's do that. Or to make future maths easier, okay, yeah, let's just do that. I was thinking move it up a bit so that 0 represents 0y represents the player y, but we don't want that. We still want to do, we want to do some easier calculations for when we have to remove items. So for example, we're going to remove sprites. Then if I do it, here we go, it's greater than height, right? So we want to use height as the screen height, so let's not get too crazy. Okay, let's draw the sprites as we know and love them. The sprite should be coming down now. They're not coming down, but that's okay. Save it. There we go. Okay. So where are our dots? Oh, I bet you I'm doing the sprites as well in that incorrect position. The new Y, the current origin plus the run distance. but 0, right? So what we want to do is height, take away. No, take away height. You're working negative space. Oh, it's falling? No. Oh, they're going high speed. And if, where is our sprites? Let's just actually move the sprites here. We just quickly check height. Let's see where that, there we go. These are things like spawning there, so let's just use that. I wonder if I'm spawning in the wrong place. It's all connected, I have to update them more. Spawn location, sprite add, okay. Sprites, and update, where's that? So spawn new sprite, whatever, and we go through all the sprites. Yeah, we're spawning in at 0. So what I actually want to do is spawn new sprite. What is this? And a bit of a hack right now, but what I want to do is, and then we do return sprite. Okay. And then of course sprite, we want to return the sprite that we just spawned. Our usage, we're going to say, let's just scroll up, on use sprite. Then we just want to quickly sprite it is dot origin is no, yes, is equal to, wait a second, turn null. So if we spawned a new sprite, we want to initialize that sprite's origin to height, I think, right? No, minus height. Minus height. Oh, come on, Matthew. And of course, we can do new. X doesn't matter, but the height must be -1. There we go. So we save that. What this one was, we're going to spawn a new sprite and make sure we start at the top. Right there. It's a bit awful positioning. Because 0 is at the bottom, minus height's at the top. All right, then we go over here and we've got current origin, which will be minus number plus the run distance. Okay. Height is greater than 0. There we go. All right. Then, to make it move the whole canvas back down again, move it there. Right, so that's spawning over there. Why are they spawning over there? Let's just quickly see. Minus height. Let's have a quick breakpoint here. What is the height? 590. Okay. And then we go to game surface. Here we go. This is 590, right? Yep. And it's, yeah. Okay. Let's quickly go back to game. Why is, wait a second. They're spawning there in the middle and then they're fading off at the bottom. Let's just make sure it is happening like that. Let's quickly close this. We don't want to look at that. Height, take away, I don't know, 100, just to make sure that things are up a bit. Things are vanishing over there, but they're spawning over here. Just this bit. Um, let's just keep that minus 100 for now. Let's figure out why they're spawning over there. Let's do minus, no, origin. Let me go over here. Well, let's stick a breakpoint over here. Okay. Oops, let's put a breakpoint here. So we got that new sprite. Okay. So currently the origin will be 0, 0, but then we spawn at 590. That's exactly what we want. And then we go through our list of sprites. We got 25. That's cool. The new one we just add, this will be minus 590, right? Which should be, you know what, let's do X and Y. Yeah, let's just do that. Oops. So that's where they're spawning. 0, 0, minus 590. There is the bottom. So my logic, if I take off the scale quickly, is there we go. One, yeah, it's halfway. Um, yeah, I'm just drawing the sprites exactly where they are. So this logic, go through all the sprites, take the current origin, and just basically put it in the right lane, right? So that's, and then as it's deciding, it's putting it there. So that's where it's spawning. And I bet you it'll fix it. It's just in 0.9. Just to see what happens. Where's that with that? Right? It's still off the screen. Oh, let's take off. It's really small. So what I'm doing is, okay, I bet you it's the scaling happening here. Wonder if oh, there we go. Okay. So scaling. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So let's say I was spawning it at the bottom, but then I'm shrinking it. I'm spawning it at the old bottom, which is 500 pixels, but after the scaling, so I'm drawing it at half the size, then it'll be in the middle, right? Because so I've got my, basically, so if I was to spawn, let's say this was not doing any complicated maths, I was just going to spawn something right at the bottom, right? I've got the height of 100. Then I say, okay, draw it half size, but that's where 100 is, right? Now, obviously, this is just in reverse. So I need to spawn it at the scaled location, not the original location. So I wonder um, is that going to cause us problems later on? So let's quickly move this run distance so we can get rid of all of this, the thousands of pixels all. There we go. Spawning there. Well, that's okay for now. Let's just do just trying to get the rest of the stuff. Oh, okay. All right. So the scale size. We shouldn't need. See, yeah. For now, we just keep it like that. But we need to figure that out. So in the is that's why spawning at 0 is cool. That's always okay. Well, I'm going in circles here. Let's remove that. Let's clean the game over. Clean that up. Remove player. We don't want that. So our update is delta time in seconds. We said the width is 3 tiles. That's just the current hack for now. We're doing all the offsets, so let's just rolling. Okay. And then of course spawn a new sprite if we need to. And in the case of our real game, we're going to spawn not a sprite but rather a ground section, right? We're going to be tile chunks, if you will. Okay. Let's quickly. There we go. Move this above it to show. Okay. Is our thing happening? Update the sprite locations. So this is logic is okay. The initial spawn logic that's a little bit iffy. Update delta time. And our game, let's keep it like that for now. Actually, no. I don't need any of this, right? Because our base already has, let's go tile size. Go. We're going to look for the error over here. We don't need that because we don't have to do any of this elapsed time. Because this update, where we're calling it, already got that. So we do e dot delta time. There we go. And then of course we're going to quickly time span. You know what? And then time span, and then we do this dot until seconds. There we go. There we go. All right. Well, this again we're going to think. So the floor offset's fine. We're not using the bottom offset right now because this is the sprite distance. Yeah, we're not going to use that, but for now we'll just keep it. Update the player based on delta time, and let's do that. Player origin. Let's just actually group this to chunks like that, just to make life a bit easier to spot. Big block. Detect any collisions. Okay. And when we run, there it is. Our game is running perfectly and amazingly. All right. Let's get rid of that drawing of the origin. There's our player. Okay. Draw sprites. Now we don't have to do the bottle things because our bottle is a sprite. So we actually can straight over here. Okay, we've done all of that. Let's make it 3D now. Finally, location. Let's update, and here we go. Save everything. It's run. So now it should be at a nice angle. Let's have a look and see. And then we've got to go through our code and just clean up our stuff. So our code is taking longer to make because first off, I'm doing this for the first time in the sense of making an actual game and what do I need, what things. But basically, yeah. And I'm starting off by making dots fall. Okay, now I've got some basic algorithm in place. Let's replace it with slightly better. And we're going to have to do a bit of work again later on to convert from spawning dots into spawning chunks, which is basically going to be just a sort of a chunk of dots. Or so I'm going to have some sort of layout, and I'm say, okay, cool, I'm going to spawn 6 different dots at the one time. So instead of spawning one at a time, I'm going to spawn bunches every time. So right now, this is back to the thing. We've got a cool little 3D here. The problem is if I have a tall screen that's chopped off and I've got a wide screen, it's silly. So instead of using raw angle, let's do floor angle. Let's do math dot. We can use atan because what we want to do is we want to make sure that this always goes from the bottom corner to the top corner. That is our goal, and we can use that tan with basic Pythagoras, which is either y over x or x over y. Let's have a quick look and see what tan is. Tan, I don't know, that's probably like it's fun, tan, right? We want to get the angle, we want to do it the hypotenuse. So tan is equal to opposite over adjacent, which is y over x. Yeah, isn't that correct? Yeah, and we want to get the angle. We've got the x and a y axis. So you can do tan, and we're going to do let's do height over now atan. Atan angle, right? And this is radians now, not degrees. So there we go, and we're going to do angle. Holy mackerel, it's all exploding. And this probably has to be float. Okay. This obviously needs to be float too because we've got to preserve those digits. All right. This should now work. Oops, I did it wrong. It's the other way around. That's the width over height. There we go. Now, let's take the scale quickly. Probably. Here we go. Right. Just quickly. And first dot draw line. We're going to go from 0, 0 to 100, 100, and we're going to use paint. So this should now draw a straight line, but in the case of our world, it's going to be skew. Oops. X is 100 and Y is going to be minus 100, like so, 0 to bottom. And we're going to do paint dot style is equal to, let's quickly do stroke. So where's our line? That. Here we go. Okay. Why do I need to do 2? This particular one, let's just quickly do canvas dot draw circle, and we're going to make a new one that's 0, 0, 20, paint. Just see where that origin is. There it is. Okay. If I was to just turn this, it should be, okay, it's turning on the point. Right? Times is our origin, and then that is turning on there. For some reason, it's going off the edge of the screen. Am I doing? Let's take off the, oops, no, let's take it across the x0, right? I'm just doing something crazy wrong. No, that is. So when we draw the tile, we're going to concat this cool matrix. Let's just take off this for now. There we go. Okay, perfectly from the top. Should now line up this joint over here. Okay, but now we want to go back to moving our tile size over 2. There we go. Right, now we're going to line that up. That's perfectly lined up. Okay. We actually want to, what if I just was to with, what am I trying to do here? I don't know why it jumps so radically. Yeah. Scrap that. Let's go back to basics. Okay. So right now, this whole thing is lining up with the center of this tile. Which, before we get too technical, we actually need to do the basics, or not the basics, the thing is, make this 1 degrees. Let's take it off, right? So there it is, our thing is sliding. Now we want to make this, let's make this 45 degrees. We want to tip the floor over. Why did that happen? make this 0 again. Okay, there it is. And then we're going to go 10 degrees. Let's make this 80 degrees. It'll be very thin now. Here we go. Which method? Where? What center point is it rotating on? Oops. Let's move this quickly. Stop the scrolling for now. But I forgot to check where is my dot. Make that. Okay, I bet you the center is off there. Let's quickly make this 1. Let's see. No? Oh yes, I forgot. This is radians 0. Okay, where is oh wait, Matthew. Let's do 8 dot color equals sk colors dot red. Let's just see. There it is, okay. And it's drawing there and it's drawing the tile over there. I wonder if that is wrong. Lane 0 actually. Just start. Let's go back to this. We want to do lane start. If you want to do 0 and 2. Okay. Lane start is wait, that was 0. No wait. Times 0. There we go. Okay. So what we actually want to do is now rotate this just to see. Unset that. Is that there is the origin. Okay, let's just comment that out. Okay, so now we got the matrix. It's there. Now if we rotate this by make this right, that should now go straight from the top left to the top corner, and that's very cool, right? Okay, but that also means our angle is going to be actually rotating on this axis. I was to basically just down. I wonder if I should flip the order of this. So let's just make this 45. We flip this. This needs to be a comma. There we go. Okay. That's not what we want, but I wonder if I'm flipping it the wrong way. Should it be minus 45? Here we go. make it note angle. I want to see angle plus equals, make it extra 10 degrees, and of course if angle is equal to angle modulus 90. So between 0 and 90, and we're just going to quickly check. Save that. I want to see an animation of. Suppose, right? We've got our angle. We say, okay, draw the canvas, and then we flip the whole thing over. But we've got a thing, and maybe I'm doing the wrong axis. So, next, I wonder if I was to do one here, and then let's just flip that bad boy. That. Maybe. Am I? The whole canvas is gone down, maybe? So what actually am I trying to do? So if I'm looking at the viewport, I want this to be there, and then maybe, so let's say if I was to make this 45, right? That's going to be our angle. Okay. So what we also want to do is maybe translate height, take away, let's do over 2. Move the whole thing, control, like that. So if we were to go back to right? Yeah. At 45 degrees, we want to keep that, but then we actually want to rotate. So we got here, so maybe the floor angle needs to be divided by 2, for example. Like that, yeah. Right? We want it to be divided by 2 for 45. So if I was to do 45 here, or maybe, what do we have for 450? So let's just show this live preview again, and see if I make this portrait. And I think this angle is incorrect. basically, and do well in maths. Okay. So in a thing, we rotate the thing 45, and we're flipping the whole canvas, which moves down, right? But we don't want to do that. We first want to flip it down, and then we want to rotate by a certain degree. Now, how do we know exactly? There must be some thing we want. Um, the width and the height. No, we don't want that. We want to have our canvas runner. Yeah, we want to know where that coordinate is. So after rotating, so like in this particular example, 45, 45, well, that's 2 by 1, right? So if I was to say divide by 45, let's make this 30, no, 20, 25, right? It's frozen. There we go. That is if it's a 1 by 1. Why does that look so much better? Did we want to have 60? Actually, no. It's to be there. Never liked working with matrices. Somehow I always fail. Although that is a nice view, right? So if I was to go this, then the angle will be, I don't want the angle actually. Let's work out on dig is equal to math f, no, what is the algorithm? Versus the normal math. Radians times 180 over pi. So it's equal to over times 180 divided by math f dot pi. Then we're going to do the bar dot right line then we're going to do oops, dig is equal to dig and is equal to underscore. Let's just see if there's a correlation. Wait, what am I trying to do? Almost. Let's grab that. I got this angle and I, when rotating it by, so this is 45, right? Then this will be, I bet you 45 as well. Or a perfect, no, it shouldn't be a perfect square. It should be halfway down. Right, this. So, yeah, that looks like a square. So that's like a third. So if I was to make this, let's make it 30, and the angle is 45. It's not, there we go, that's nice. And then it gets out of whack really fast. So it's not actually almost like, is it, so we're getting the angle based on the ratio. So basically, if I was to do that, if it gets wide, yeah, maybe that's why it's not going to work, right? Because of this one, the angle of the floor to the camera is staying the same. In my mind, I am saying we're drawing the camera and we flip it, right? So we're going to actually rotate the canvas less based on the ratio. I don't know, maybe. How would that work, right? If I was to do 3, yeah. Oh, wait. If I was just to pull this, die start, lane start, so minus 2. Does that look? I'll work on the center line. What if I'm just drawing in the wrong place? My screen's frozen. Here we go, we're back. So a perfect square. It's basically straight. I do actually want to do this portrait, right? Should it be smaller? This, I'm just looking at that. So, here we go. Oh, yeah. We've got our player, who is effectively the red dot in this particular. Oh, Can't really have them, right? Because if I image assets, right, this one's technically changing the angle. This makes it like quite a steep. So, I mean, technically, still 45 degrees. So whether we do it for the side. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it like that. Now let's get back to our tile size is minus 1, and our size is 1. There we go. Okay. And then angle ticking over there. Not sure what 10 is great. I'm probably going to have to change the 45 and 10 to a different one. Okay, but that's fine for now. That's what I want. Here we go. Hey, you. Okay, it's in lane 1, and then he's going to move to lane 2, and then lane 3. Now, technically, we also need to move him. That's going to be important. But yeah, we'll do that. So you can't jump that direction, but we'll fix that in a second. All right. Yo, that was a long meandering thing. I need to really up my brain. Sandbox page. Now we got this. The draw the bottle. Draw the bottle. Here we go. Is for each sprite. A bottle. No, we're not going to do sprite offset. Bottle offset. Let's get rid of that page down. We don't want the bottle offset. That's not really a thing, right? The sprite coming here. Let's quickly cancel this and save that. Yeah, stop. Okay. So our current dot for now. Don't want the sprite. We do translation. That's gain, scale. Not going to do that. Let's quickly comment that. So here it is. So the sprite will draw, and then the gesture obstacle at origin. Yeah, okay. So we're going to keep it exactly where that is. There we go. And we want to offset. Well, let's just make this narrower for now. Okay. And there we go. Fit. So this 256 times 10 bottle offset, so we don't need that, times scale. So let's just do that. ISO, and then actually what we want to do is do canvas.translate ISO for now. There you go. Hmm. Hmm. doing the whole thing wrong because the update is doing the origin. Here we go, right? So I think my problem is not actually that I am, yeah, because this origin, okay, I think the whole thing's a problem. I have to do a bit of work. Um, in here, and this is also the problem here, I'm working in screen coordinate space. Put it down the height, and then of course I do this maths to do it. And the same in this one, I'm moving the origin based on the lane width, the lane, which will be actual numbers, and the y is the current times y. But what's actually happening? Oh, wait a minute. Let's actually. Should now be moving. It is definitely two different coordinate space. So, whoops, I should be. There it is. Okay, there they all are. They're also now they're stretched. So the reason what I'm doing is I'm taking it out of the scope. However, I need to then take the point. See, what I actually need to be doing is not drawing the sprite in here. I need to actually. So I need to draw the sprite. So this is what. Yeah. So the origin is moving down. That's fine. And then I need to draw at this matrix. So actually, can I don't know if I'm going to abuse the system. So I need to stop this and say, okay, draw in the canvas and then do SK matrix. Offset. No, where is this now? Right. So our current game is this matrix, but I'm saying, okay, cool. Give me what I will be doing in my and do and say, okay, point the origin like that, right? Then we get the isometric point along the path, and then we need to draw it at 0, 0. Um, what is matrix? Matrix 44. So to test that theory, I'm going to do matrix, right? So we take that off. Okay, see. And we go here, and matrix 44, and then we do transform. There we go, let's just do that. Of course, we get a reward, that doesn't do anything. And of course, obstacle. Oops. Let's see. You rethink that. And now I should be sticking to it. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So our update loop is working in 0 is the bottom and we're moving down. Now, of course, we've got scaling happening, whatever, then of course that leaks in. So this one, I wonder if that, that this is correct again. I don't like passing in the canvas. but all of them need to do this. I feel like we need to refactor something. There we go. The dots are spawning. The player has gone off the screen. Um, that's probably because, yeah, this is a very roundabout. Let's just divide that into two for now. So it should be somewhere. There we go. Red is the origin, blue is the player staying in the right place. There we go. Right, so if I'm, there we go. That's what I want. Okay. So I just need to do a whole bunch of refactoring in my mind. There we go. Okay. Now, I don't like what I see here. Passing in the matrix and then you got to pass it around. It's like not cool. So I'm gonna got to go back to work. I think I know what I need to do. I just need to yeah, because basically the main issue I think what I've got here. This is what happens when I was writing the code, spawning the dot, and then pull down. All the logic in here is working in one sort of uh, um, coordinate space. Then I go ahead and do a whole bunch of transformations, draw it, and basically I'm saying now I need to transform all the draw operations via this matrix. I can't just transform the whole matrix, so that will squish all the images. So I need to transform the coordinates only as part of this. So maybe passing in the coordinate transformation matrix here, but maybe the we should have, yeah, yeah. So maybe that's fine because we are basically saying I'm gonna give you, hey, obstacle. This transformation matrix is more the origin transform. So every time you do something with positions, you must apply this particular one. That's how I want you to draw it. Um, do I like this one? I mean, that's the only way to do it, right? This particular draw operation needs to know where to put it because I say, okay, I'm giving you a blank canvas and I'm giving you some sort of matrix to it. So the origin is going to be in the coordinate space of not transform. So yeah, okay, maybe that's what we have to do. I'll have to rename the things, but yeah, it is a bit annoying to have to put that in and pass it around. Um, but that's because this particular matrix doesn't apply to anything other than the x and y drawing coordinates, so that we can have, for example, if I was to go here and quickly on obstacle and maybe some image, there we go, and we don't have a paint for now. So this is make this will be asset, and of course we're going to do org. This is not floorboards, this is bottle. No, this is not bottle, this is, no, let's just do bottle for now. We don't have another asset loaded. That. So this should be drawing the bottles, there we go. to go back to our game, and all of this stuff should be going obstacle. So we want our quickly scale the canvas. If may need to do it in that particular order. Yeah, okay. Oopsie. Translate to there. KU. Draw image at coordinate. New. Let's get point. Or get point empty. Still here. And of course that is the offset. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Now obviously we can see that we can solve the problem by making it slightly smaller. There we go. The bottle shouldn't be overlapping. But yeah, we will need to get the Z ordering right. Does that look right? So let's quickly copy this and stick it in the ward. And also let's stick this in the bottle. Now, the same thing will happen to the player. I feel like this logic should be all shared in some sort of shared asset. So rather, instead of sprite drawing it like this, I think, oops, this will be, where do we have that? The sandbox page, this is the stuff we want. Player. So we can do 5, or 6 actually. Translate to coordinate. Zero. Coordinate origin. I suppose doesn't really matter which one you do. In this particular one, that's translate, scale, translate. Translate, scale, translate. And what we want is must be player. Here's our player. Okay. They're out of whack their coordinates, but effectively, there we go. Very happy little thing spawning. I think I need to fix first of all. Let's quickly get rid of that. Here we go. And let's get rid of that. Back to the normal one. There we go. Whoops, we can't see it. Times 0. I don't know, it's 0.7 for now. Okay. All my coordinates are in wrong, and I have to start working soon. Okay, that was a much less exciting than I was hoping, but it is what it is. I can't learn matrices and what I'm doing and all of that in just 2 hours. But that's effectively what's going to be happening soon. I feel like because my sprites almost all the same, should be in fact, this should go here. Now, what's going to be, we will do public sk image asset, and since we get, okay, and this will be nullable. There we go. And then we do if is null, return. Otherwise, we just draw the asset. Um, hmm, let's not do that. More nuanced than just that. But all of these values technically should be, uh, yeah. So your asset, we would have a public just to get the public escape point origin offset, and we would have a final one with public float asset scale. Okay, let's go with that. So we would first times by asset scale. Oh my gosh. This will be translated by origin offset. And drawing the asset. Now what I did have before was escape point dot empty, and then let's draw this asset, not an empty. Right, that feels more safe. And then asset, we don't do that. We draw asset. There we go. Let's stop that. So instead of doing all of this all the time, obstacle will be, oops, I need to, there we go. So our player obstacle will be override asset, and this will be that asset scale is equal to 0.4f and O. And I wonder this at some point this doesn't have to be. There we go. So we won't need anything in the draw. There we go. Right, so we would copy this, and the same thing at the collision rectangle, right? This. Yeah, I mean, look at this thing overriding here, property set there. We'll figure that out in a second. 0.6 minus 300 was 600. This is the asset offset, origin offset, and that's it. And this is player. There we go. So that's more what I'm thinking. Or right now it's a bottle, but whatever. Okay, save it all, run it all. All right, I have to go to work. I have 1 minute left before my meeting. It's mostly what I want, obviously not perfect, and also I have absolutely lost control of my coordinate systems. But I think that'll be fine for now. Let's wait for this to run, and then I'll get ready on this side to hop on again. Okay, it's taking forever. There we go, my meeting has started. I've got seconds on the clock. Come on, computer. And oh my gosh. All right, I gotta go to the meeting. I'll undo all of that and fix it. All right, cheerio.